Hello students, today we are going to discuss about sex determination. The sex determination is also known as genetic differentiation. It refers to the genotype of the fetus, whether male or female. The genotype is determined by the presence of sex chromosome and hence also known as chromosomal sex differentiation. As we know about human chromosome that there are 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, and they are arranged in a pattern, and that pattern we call it karyotype of the adult male or female. So they exist in pairs. Chromosomes exist in pairs. So we have 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Okay. So female possesses 44 autosomes plus 2 X chromosomes, and male possesses 44 autosomes plus X and Y chromosomes. The human gametes are haploid, and in male it is sperm and female it is ova. And during gametogenesis there occurs meiosis, that is a reduction division, and there will be 22 autosomes and 1 sex chromosomes, and they are known as haploid number. Since the primitive female germ cell, oogonia, from which the mature ova are formed, is 44 plus 2X chromosomes, so each ovum will contain 22 plus X chromosomes. And in male, it will be 22 plus Y, 22 plus X. So we can see this figure, how you have a study about the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. So there are steps how meiosis occurs. So genetic sex determination of embryo occurs during fertilization, that is penetration of ovum by the sperm, as when an ovum is fertilized by a sperm containing 22X. So resultant zygote will be 44 plus XX, the female genotype. And if ovum with 22 plus X fertilized with 22 plus Y chromosomes sperm, the zygote will be 44 XY, male genotype. The human Y chromosome is smaller than X chromosome. The sperm containing the Y chromosomes are lighter, and they are able to swim fast up in the female genital tract. Okay. Now, formation of the Barr body. Now, what is Barr body? You all know. You all must have read. It is an inactivation of the X chromosomes in females. So during embryonic development, the somatic cell starts multiplying immediately after fertilization. So after the zygote has been formed and it multiplies from one cell to multiple cells. So somatic cell starts multiplying by mitosis. Okay. It has been seen that one of the X chromosomes of somatic cells in the female embryo becomes inactive while other remains active. So 2 X chromosomes we have, 1 X chromosome becomes inactive, other is active. The exact detail about the inactivation process of X chromosome are not known, but it may probably be due to the presence of gene called GIXT, X inactivation center. So because of this gene, there will be inactivation of X chromosomes. And these inactivated X chromosome produces non-coding mRNA. And the formation of non-coding mRNA starts inactivation process in the center of the X chromosome, continues in the subsequent division of the cells. The choice to be inactive of one of the X chromosome is random. So which one will be inactivated? It's not known. It's purely random process. Therefore, in adult female, about half of the somatic cells contains active X chromosome of paternal origin and other half of maternal origin. Inactive X chromosome of each somatic cells forms a condensed mass called sex chromatin or Barr body. So these inactivated X chromosomes forms the Barr body or sex chromatin. So we can see the Barr body or sex chromatin in this. These are the somatic cells. Epithelial cell for that purpose. and you can see the bar bodies here. These are inactivated X chromosomes. Now, what is the significance of bar bodies? What is the significance of bar bodies? Identification of sex genotype. Since bar bodies are present in the somatic cells of females only, so the sex genotype can be identified by a cytological test. So, if even in forensic, if we are not able to detect the sex, so we can take a cytological test, and we can, if we identify a bar bodies, so we are confirmed that this is a female body. The most suitable cells we can take for cytological test are epithelial cells of epidermis spinous layer, the other layer of the skin, buccal mucosal cell of vagina, polymorph nuclear cells. Okay, so we can see these bar bodies as drum stick projecting from the nuclei. Okay. We can also identify abnormal genotype. In abnormal cells with 3 or more sex X chromosomes, there are 2 or more bar bodies. So if there are more than one bar bodies, you can eventually say that if it is one bar body, you will say that okay, it's normal 2 chromosomes, 2 X chromosomes. If it to 2 bar bodies, you'll have to say that there is extra X chromosome, means 3 X chromosomes. So that can identify abnormal genotype. Okay. Now we come to this was the genetic basis of the sex determination. Now we come to sex differentiation. After sex determination during fertilization or normal sex differentiation in the embryo process sequencing, the stage of sex differentiation are, first of all, there will be gonadal differentiation, ovum, testis. There will be genital differentiation, like in male it is penis and female it is vagina. Psychological differentiation, male and female have different psychological differentiation. They have different orientation and different psychological effect as far as development of sexual function is concerned. Now first we come to discuss about gonadal differentiation or gonadogenesis. It is a synthesis or the formation of the gonads, that is testes in male and ovaries in female. It depends upon the genotype of the embryo. So first of all, you must have read in embryology, just we have to revise it. Genital ridge or urogenital ridge. This genital ridge or urogenital ridge is what? This is a mesenchymal tissues present on each side of the adrenal gland. Near the adrenal gland, there are mesenchymal tissues, and condensation of this tissue give rise to urogenital ridge or genital ridge, and it is the site where gonads develop. Now, primordial germ cell, they migrate. So this is the other group of cells that migrate into this genital ridge, and there occurs proliferation of both germinal and non-germinal cell, and leads to formation of bipotential gonads. When we say bipotential gonad, that means these gonads have potential to form testis or ovary, both. Now under the effect of the hormones, they can form testis or ovary. But now when we say bipotential gonads, they have potential to form both, right? Now bipotential gonads are known as primordial or primitive or indifferent or ambisexual gonads. Primordial कह लो, primitive कह लो, indifferent कह लो, ambisexual gonads कह लो. In human embryo, these can be identified after 30 days of fertilization. These can be identified after 30 days of fertilization. Up to 6 weeks of gestation, the bipotential gonads are identical in both sexes and have rudiments of both male and female. So up to 6 weeks, gestational the bipotential gonads are identical in both sexes. Okay. Now, these bipotential gonads consist of medulla, cortex, and primordial germ cell. Okay, you can see the medulla, the cortex, and primordial germ cell. The germ cells are embedded in the layer of the cortical epithelium, surrounded by a core of medullary mesenchyma. Right? You can see in the figure. You can see this in the figure. These are the indifferent gonads, where you have cortical epithelium, then we have medulla, and between this you have the primordial germ cell. Okay, and you can very well appreciate the sex cords. Okay, if they come to form as testis and ovary, now they have a different structure, but in indifferent gonads, more or less they are identical. Now, when these indifferent gonads develop into testes, when it occurs. So, in genetic male, where 44 and XY embryo is there, the bipotential gonads begin to differentiate into testes at 6th week. So, at the 6th week, before 6th week, they are bipotential gonad, but after 6th week, they are potential male gonad. And the Y chromosome plays a key role in the process of testicular differentiation. What is the role of Y chromosome? The two transcription gene, one for testicular differentiation and another for formation of Mullerian duct inhibitory substance, are present on Y chromosome. They are very important substance. So Y chromosomes have some genes. All chromosomes have genes. So Y chromosome also have genes, and there are two regions of the genes, and these two regions give rise to one for protein or a hormone or substance, anything you can say, for testicular differentiation. Another reasons give rise to MIS substance, that is Mullerian duct inhibitory substance, and Mullerian substance is responsible for formation of female. So when a different substance has been formed, MIS, that will inhibit the direction towards the female gonads. It will help to form testes. Now the gene responsible for testicular differentiation is located near the tip of the short arm of the chromosome Y, that is known as SRY gene. So SRY gene is important. The SRY gene encodes the testis determining factor. Now these form testis determining factor, TDF, and this triggers the testicular differentiation. Now testis determining factor gene product causes Sertoli cell differentiation also. So along with the testicular differentiation, this causes Sertoli cell differentiation also. And you know, Sertoli cell is very important in a testis formation. Now, about 6th week of testis formation and gestation, 6th week of gestation, the testicular differentiation begins with the appearance of primitive seminiferous cords, that is known as sex cords, from germinal epithelium, covering the medulla of bipotential gonad. So at the 6th week, there will be cords, and these cords will appearance of cords will be there at the 6th week, and epithelium will cover the medulla. 7th week में क्या होता है? The solid sex cords are canalized. The sex cords are canalized in the middle, and to form these sex cords form seminiferous tubules. Meanwhile, Sertoli cell appears and get organized along with the seminiferous tubule. The cortical region undergo regression. That means after formation of this seminiferous tubule and Sertoli cells, the cortex region get regressed. And this is the cortical region from which female gonad developed. If suppose the female gonad has to develop, this was the cortical region where it would have been developed. But in male, this cortical region is regressed. Now 8 week में क्या होगा? Leydig cells appears in the interstitial space of seminiferous tubules and continue to proliferate. The Leydig cells are derived from the sex cords only, and that are not canalized. Okay, so सेक्स कॉर्ड से सेमिनिफरस ट्यूबल बनता है, जो सेक्स कॉर्ड कैनलाइज होते हैं उनसे सेमिनिफरस ट्यूबल बनता है, और जो सेक्स कैनलाइज नहीं होते हैं वो लेडिक सेल्स बन जाते हैं. क्या द मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ लेडिक सेल्स हैज रिसेप्टर फॉर HCG एंड LH. तो याद रखो, L से लेडिक सेल होता है और L से ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन होता है. उसी तरह हम बताएंगे कि सर्टोली सेल पर जो होता है, सर्टोली सेल में S है और FSH क्या है, उसमें भी S है. तो इसलिए सर्टोली सेल के रिसेप्टर जो होते हैं वो FSH के लिए भी होते हैं. ठीक है, इसे याद रखना है. लेडिक सेल L बहुत काम देगा. ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन के लिए रिसेप्टर होते हैं लेडिक सेल पे, L फॉर ल्यूटिनाइजिंग हार्मोन, L फॉर लेडिक सेल्स, राइट. एंड HCG के लिए भी रिसेप्टर होते हैं लेडिक सेल्स पे. अबाउट 9th वीक ऑफ गेस्टेशन में क्या होता है, दिस लेडिक सेल सिंथेसाइजेस एंड सीक्रेट टेस्टोस्टेरोन. कोई पूछेगा कि कब टेस्टोस्टेरोन डेवलप होता है, तो 9th वीक ऑफ गेस्टेशन में टेस्टोस्टेरोन जो है बनना शुरू हो जाता है. एंड इन रिस्पॉन्स टू HCG, ह्यूमन कोरियोग्राफिक हार्मोन सीक्रेटेड बाय प्लेसेंटा. 14th वीक ऑफ गेस्टेशन में नंबर ऑफ लेडिग cells are so much increased that they form more than half of the volume of the testis. 16th week से 4 month में fetal Leydig cells decreases and at term only few Leydig cells are present. 35 week of gestation में there occurs descent of testes through the inguinal canal into the scrotum. This marks the final stage of testicular differentiation. So what steps marks the final stage of testicular differentiation? That is the descent of the testis, and it is in the 35th week, right? In the same way, if we discuss the bipotential gonads were to develop into ovary, what would happen? Then about 10th week of gestation, ovarian differentiation can be identified histologically. But it was 6th week in which the male gonads was were identified histologically. But it is in the if that gonads is to form ovary, the feature will come in the 10th week. Since development of ovary requires presence of XX chromosomes, therefore XO chromosome constitution, there may be no ovarian tissues. Okay? Ovarian differentiation occurs in the absence of testis determining factor. Okay? So these are TDF is absent, and so it paves the way for the formation of ovary. The ovaries develop on each side of the cortical region. From the cortical region, we have discussed that cortical region regresses in the male gonads, but in the female gonads, from the cortical region only the testis ovaries develop. The coelomic epithelium, the cortical cell, proliferate and form granulosa cells which surround the germ cells and commit them to oocyte formation. The hyaloid cells form later during the development. Meanwhile, the medulla from which the testis develop regresses. During 11th to 12th week of gestation, oogonia undergoes meiotic division to form oocyte, which is end point of ovary differentiation. So, end point of ovary differentiation is about 12th week, much earlier than the male counterparts. Oogonia undergo meiotic division to form oocyte, which is the end point of the ovary differentiation. Embryonic ovary, like testis, does not secrete any hormone. Hormonal treatment of mother has no effect on gonadal differentiation in human, as opposed to ductal or genital. That means if you give the drug a hormonal treatment, it can affect your duct or genital, है ना? That is the superficial organ, like penis, like vagina, clitoral, but it will not affect the gonadal differentiation. Okay? गोनाडल मीन्स टेस्टिस और ओवरी. अब आते हैं हम लोग गोनाडल के पास जेनेटल डिफरेंशिएशन. Genital sex differentiation, also called as phenotypic sex differentiation, refers to differentiation of the internal genitalia, urethra and external genitalia. Differentiation of internal genitalia. Internal genitalia differentiates from the neutral sex anlagen. Neutral sex anlagen, which develops during the 6th week of gestation. So 6th week of gestation, there is a structure called neutral sex anlagen that will develop, and the primordia of the internal genitalia are paired set of Wolffian duct. In male it is Wolffian duct, and a paired set of Mullerian duct. In female it is Mullerian duct. So internal genitalia are these two duct, Wolffian duct and the Mullerian duct. And we have discussed that drugs, hormonal treatment can affect these ducts and genitalia, but not the gonads, right? So gonads are based on genetic basis of differentiation, right? So this neutral sex analogy develop into, if it is male, Wolffian duct, if it is female, Mullerian duct. And by 7th week of gestation, the embryo has both male and female primordial duct. You can see there is a Mullerian ligament, Wolffian duct, uterovaginal canal here. Okay. Now, how this bipotential gonad developed into male internal genitalia? So, in genetic male, 44XY with functioning testis is functioning, gonads are developed, and we know that testosterone are also secreted, and Mullerian inhibiting hormone is also there, testis determining factor was there, MIS is there. They all are secreted, which result in differences of male internal genitalia. The testosterone is secreted by Leydig cells stimulate the Wolffian. देखो इसको कैसे याद रखना है कि कभी कभी Wolffian और Mullerian में दिक्कत होता है, तो हम लोग ऐसे याद करते थे, मेन आर वुल्फ, है ना. अब Mullerian छोड़ दो, सिर्फ W का याद रखो, मेन आर वुल्फ, है ना, उल्फ, ऐसे हमारे टीचर याद कराते थे. तो उल्फ का W को नीचे कर दो तो मेल बन जाता है ना. तो बस वही उसे याद रखना है कि Wolffian डक्ट इस मेल में होता है और Mullerian डक्ट जो होता है वो फीमेल में होता है. तो the testosterone secreted by the Leydig cells stimulate the Wolffian duct to form epididymis, vas deferens and seminal vesicle. So from Wolffian duct these forms epididymis, vas deferens and seminal vesicle. Mullerian inhibiting substance MIS that was secreted by Sertoli cell. This is also a question. It is Sertoli. It is not from the testis. It is secreted by the Sertoli cell. It causes degradation of Mullerian duct because we don't want that. In bipotential gonads or bipotential genitalia are there. If it were to form male genitalia, we don't want female genitalia, right? That's why Mullerian inhibiting substance will inhibit the Mullerian duct by apoptosis. You can see here this figure. You can bar you can see that in female, you can see B is the female, right? B. Okay, this is male and this is female. You can see in a male the Mullerian inhibiting substance will inhibit this duct, Mullerian duct, and it will not help in the formation of uterus and all. In the female there will be no MIS and all, so this paves the way for the formation of the uterus, fallopian tube. Okay, and it is formed by the Mullerian duct. And Wolffian duct, it forms vas deferens seminal vesicle, right? So now we have seen male genitalia, female genitalia. Let's see female. In a genetic female 44XX, the absence of MIS and female ducts, the female ducts, that is Mullerian ducts, proliferate to form oviduct, that is uterine tube, uterus and upper two-thirds of vagina. याद रखना, upper two-thirds of vagina very important because lower two-thirds of vagina जो होता है वो कहीं और से डेवलप होता है. ठीक है. Upper 2/3 of the vagina is developed from the from the Mullerian duct. Mullerian duct से क्या क्या चीज ओरिजिन होता है ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है. Female internal genitalia are functionally committed to become female as early as 8 weeks. In the absence of testosterone, Wolffian duct degenerate. So testosterone not there, so in female Wolffian duct degenerate. Now from above it is clear that the natural tendency of the fetus is to develop female phenotype. Okay, it is the absence of testis and not the presence of ovary which initiates the development of female genitalia. So naturally it is the female development. If testis is present and secreting the required hormone, it will lead to the male. Otherwise, if it is not there, female. Because even in the male genotype XY, if the testis is, if you remove the testis, so the importance is here. Even if the male genotype XY committed to form a testis, and if you remove the testis around 7th week of gestation, the newborn will have a female genitalia. So according to Gaudiya Vaishnava doctrine, personnel are fundamentally female. The malehood is merely imposed. Nature has made such a nice decision, but do we have this in society? No, we don't have it. It's unfortunate, really unfortunate. Differentiation of external genitalia. In contrast to internal genitalia, the external genitalia in both sexes develop from a common analogen. So they are not two other different structure. They have one common analogen from which external genitalia of both male and female. That is the urogenital sinus, the genital sinus, genital tubercle, genital swelling, and the genital fold or urethral fold. And from these different parts of the external genitalia have developed. And it is very, very, very important from which part what developed. It's very important. So these are the urogenital sinus, genital tubercle, genital swelling, and genital folds from where the external genitalia develop. External genitalia are bipotential till 8 weeks of gestation. That is can develop along female or male. In a male fetus having functional testes, secreting testosterone and dihydrotestosterone, the external genitalia acquires male characteristic by the 5 months of gestation. ठीक है, 5 months, it is not week. In a female fetus, absence of any hormone, external genitalia will develop into female. So very important, I said, always remember genital tubercle. These are the structure, common analogen from which the male or female develop. So very important to remember. Genital tubercle से क्या बनेगा? Glans penis. और genital tubercle से female में क्या बनेगा? Clitoris. Very important. Very much frequently asked in the questions. Urogenital sinus है, urogenital fold भी है. Urogenital fold से क्या बनेगा? लेबिया माइनोरा. और लेबिया मेजोरा किससे बनेगा? जेनिटल स्वेलिंग से बनेगा. जेनिटल स्वेलिंग से क्या बनेगा? मेल में स्क्रोटम बनेगा, है ना. और यूरोजेनिटल फोल्ड से क्या बनेगा? दिस शाफ्ट ऑफ द पेनिस बनेगा. ठीक है. दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रक्चर फ्रॉम विच फीमेल एंड मेल आर फॉर्म. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको आप लोग याद रखना. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यूरोजेनिटल साइनस से प्रोस्टेटिक यूरेथ्रा एंड फीमेल में यूरेथ्रा डेवलप करता है. यूरेथ्रल फोल्ड से क्या करता है? पेनाइल यूरेथ्रा, शाफ्ट ऑफ द पेनिस और लेबिया माइनोरा इन फीमेल. जेनिटल स्वेलिंग से स्क्रोटम बनता है और लेबिया मेजोरा बनता है मेल में. फीमेल में जेनिटल ट्यूबरकल से ग्लैंस पेनिस और फीमेल में क्लाइटोरिस. वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ वी कम टू साइकोलॉजिकल डिफरेंशिएशन. Let's see what's the time. 29 minutes. Okay. regulation. We can just last stanza we can take. Psychological sex differences refers to the normal sex behavior in adult male and female. The difference in male and female behavior is due to some anatomic and functional differences in certain areas of the brain of the two sexes. So this psychological differentiation is due to the brain development. It is determined by the effect of androgen on the development of the brain in the embryonic stage. It has been studied that a brief exposure of the fetal hypothalamus to androgen during early embryonic period causes male pattern of sexual behavior during puberty. A brief exposure of the fetal hypothalamus to androgen. So, if we give exposure to the fetal hypothalamus to the androgen from its own testis during early embryonic period causes male pattern of sexual behavior. So, this behavior is due to the effect of androgen during puberty. It occurs due to constant secretion of pituitary gonadotropin. Absence of these androgenic exposure of the fetal hypothalamus in the female embryo causes it to stimulate anterior pituitary in cyclic way as in adult female. Early exposure of female, अब क्या होगा, ये तो नॉर्मल हुआ, तो अब देखो अब क्या हो सकता है कि अगर अर्ली एक्सपोजर ऑफ फीमेल फिटस है जेनेटिकली सब कुछ, अगर उसका अर्ली एक्सपोजर टू फीमेल फिटस टू मोर एंड मोर एंड्रोजन हो गया, दिस प्रोड्यूसेस सिग्निफिकेंट मैस्कुलाइजिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ सेक्स बिहेवियर इन एडल्टहुड. ठीक है, तो उसके जो सेक्स बिहेवियर होंगे फीमेल का, वो एक मैन पैटर्न का होगा, बॉयज टाइप का होगा. ठीक है, तो ऑल दिस आर साइकोलॉजिकल थिंग्स. We will discuss the regulation and all in the next class and with some clinical aspect, right? Thank you so much.